This is a short tutorial on how to run the product Price Wizard on Bloomberg by Parallax Financial. First, let's go to the App Store, APPS Go on your Bloomberg terminal, and under the All button, click on that, and let's look for Price Wizard in the list. Here it is, PW. Go ahead and click on that. This is our storefront for Price Wizard on Bloomberg. You'll see on the storefront there are a number of screenshots. You can get an idea for what the program does. There's also a link here to our user's guide and some other instructional videos, description of the product, information about Parallax, and support information. If you have any problems with the product at all, have more questions, contact us at this number. There's more information on the website, and here's a support email. Let's go ahead and run Price Wizard. Now, Price Wizard is a Windows application. There's one central window, which you see here, and you'll need a significant amount of compute power to run it. We recommend one of the newer versions of Windows operating system and a newer computer. Now, Price Wizard, what it is, if you haven't read the material, is an equity pricing model using neural networks. It's a little bit different than what you might have been used to with other multi-factor models. We don't use any analyst expectations about the future. It was originally intended to price IPOs before they reach market, so it was never intended that there be any analysts or other opinions about a particular security. And the goal was to figure out what the price for that security would be today if you knew the industry group that the stock was going to be in and what its fundamentals were. So it's an equity pricing model. We've been running it almost 25 years in different forms. This is in its 4th generation now. We've extended it to run in international markets. And the window you're looking at is a search tool. So what we've got here are a number of places to get your list of securities. You can look at the valuation of a single security. Let's just do that very quickly. If you want to get up and running quick, pick a security. We've got Precision Castparts as a default because we had to pick something. And you hit the Perform Valuation, and what comes up are the valuations that we've given to Precision Castparts fundamentals over time. And what we've done here is plotted it against on a monthly scale. The underlying chart is there, and the purple markers are the valuations that the fundamental data has been turned into. Our neural networks take the fundamental data in that existed at the time, turn it into an estimated price for what we think it's worth at the time, and display it here for you. The models were trained on data from 1999 and earlier, so everything you see on the screen here is out of sample, has never been seen by the model before, for those of you who understand in sample and out of sample. So you can also pick securities from a list. Obviously it's an equity only product. We can analyze all the securities in an index. You can look by country, pick a sector. It's default to look at all sectors right now. And then you can also limit your search by, or your listing by market cap, prices above $5, let's say, liquidities. If you want to just find undervalued stocks, you can select a level of undervalued or overvalued if you're long short, or just run them all and then sort it later. So in terms of additional filters, there are a few other additional filters, like for instance, you can pick to look for stocks that have increasing valuations. But let's, for the sake of the demo today, let's look at some additional valuation. Let's take a look at the holdings of, well, instead of the S&P 500, let's pick something a little bit smaller. How about the NDX? That's got a limited number of stocks. And so what we're going to do is pull down the data for the NDX constituent stocks and run their valuations. And as the valuations are completed, they'll be listed down here. And it's off and running. And what you see in the display screen here is obviously the security name, the sector it's in, the market cap, the last price recorded, the year-over-year change in the last price, and PW price is our price wizard price, what we think it's worth. For instance here, let's say here's PCP. Last price was 211, but we think it's only worth 178 right now. And then the price wizard year-over-year change. So this is the change year-over-year in our valuations. If they've gone down, in this case it went down 20%, up 58% on Apple. We think Apple's worth 143. Let's go ahead and pull that chart up while we're waiting for it to complete. While it's running, it takes a little bit longer. So this is what we thought Apple was worth since 2004. Sometimes it gets a little ahead of itself, sometimes it's a little behind. Now it's just a bit undervalued at $128. We think it's worth 143 right now. So let's go ahead and stop. Well, I'll let it keep going. There's only a few more to go. When this full set is done, we can also ask some questions about the full set of stocks that are listed. For instance, we might want to know what the average or median valuation of the whole set is. If you're interested in doing macro work, you might want to run, say, the Russell 3000 and ask, what is the average valuation? Is the market in general overvalued or undervalued? And what about the cap-weighted valuation of the market, or a equal weighted valuation? So we can answer those questions. As soon as this is done, I'll show you how to do that. We can save the list for later study. We can save the history. Other analysis that we have, we can look at each individual valuation and look at the components that go into it. You know, what fundamental factors are evaluated to give us that number. And it's almost finished. Again, it's doing the valuations here. It's up to valuing stock 83 of 100, 85. And then this PW diff is the difference between our price wizard valuation and the last price of the stock. So a negative number here represents an overvalued stock, and a positive number indicates an undervalued stock. All right, there we go. That's finished. Oh, not quite finished. A few more stocks. And almost done. 1 of 7 left. It's pretty quick. Okay, so now it's finished. So as I said before, we can save the list. It's just an Excel CSV file. You can copy and paste it to an Excel file if you want. Print the screen, clear the list, copy the screen into an email if you like. Under analysis, we have aggregate valuation. So if you want to see if the NDX today is over or undervalued, we can do this. Well, there were 96 stocks that we performed this analysis on. Didn't get all of them, I guess. Some of them it didn't find a valuation for. Equal weighted, the NDX is 29% overvalued. Cap weighted, it's about 14% overvalued, and median is 25.6 over. So that's how I get a look at the macro level information. You can also look at individual valuations using the Explorer tool and re-estimate. Put in what ifs. If the earnings were, say, $9, what would that make the final price? You put in 9, estimate, and we take the price up a bit. Okay, so that's a quick look. Then there's a help button here if you get into trouble. There's a user's guide, chart book example, slideshow. That's a quick tutorial on how to run our Price Wizard tool. Thank you.